Today's situation in the United States reveals a concerning trend. In the care of the older population, a significant percentage of elderly men and single older women, 45% and over 50% respectively, are now living in poverty. This unfortunate reality is compounded by their inability to afford basic necessities, despite the modest increases in Social Security benefits and the anticipated boost in cost of living adjustments. The alarming inflation rate, which is estimated to be closer to 15 to 20% according to economists, exacerbates the struggles faced by many older Americans. Unfortunately, the current administration seems to be downplaying the inflation issue by using lower-than-reality data in order to avoid the need for substantial increases in Social Security benefits. One of the reasons behind this manipulation of inflation numbers is attributed to the upcoming election, where the government wishes to avoid significant financial obligations towards its citizens. Additionally, they are reluctant to acknowledge the recessionary state of the economy and have even changed the definition of a recession. These actions are driven by a desire to maintain a favorable image and prevent the need for raising Social Security benefits above the poverty level. It is disheartening to witness this situation unfold while the United States finds itself in a challenging financial predicament. In other news, President Biden has reportedly recovered from COVID-19 and is eager to resume his duties. He is scheduled to meet with numerous CEOs and labor leaders this afternoon to discuss the progress of the $52 billion Chip and Semiconductor Act bill, which has been delayed by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi since its Senate passage 7 months ago. The president aims to gain a better understanding of the challenges faced by American businesses and the nation's reliance on foreign sources for computer chips and semiconductors. Meanwhile, the Senate plans to vote on a bill that grants them the authority to negotiate prescription drug prices on behalf of those covered by Medicaid and Medicare. Although this bill is expected to pass, the positive COVID-19 tests of Senator Joe Manchin and Senator Lisa Murkowski, who are pivotal in securing the bill's passage, pose a potential obstacle as they are unable to physically vote in the Capitol. In response to the issue of rising drug prices, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer emphasizes the importance of lowering drug costs as a significant achievement for the American public and a means to alleviate inflation for those dependent on medications. Surprisingly, the bill enjoys support from 83% of the country, and Schumer expresses bewilderment as to why this number is not even higher. Moving forward, the Senate intends to address the legalization of marijuana and engage in discussions and voting concerning the retention of approximately $40 billion in Obamacare funding. Supplement programs currently in place are facing a crucial moment. If the necessary bills are not passed, millions of Americans could face substantial increases in their health care premiums starting this October. Both the Democrats and the American public are keen on avoiding this outcome. Therefore, the focus will be on working towards the legalization of marijuana and ensuring the affordability of Obamacare for lower-income families. These are significant bills that the Senate is diligently working on, hoping for their successful passage. Now, moving on to other news updates. Some viewers have expressed concerns that my channel is delving into conspiracy theories. However, when I shared the news about Russia shutting down the Nord Stream 1 pipeline for maintenance, it was merely a factual report, not an opinion or a conspiracy. It turns out that Russia has indeed resumed operations, but is limiting the gas supply to Europe to only 20% of its previous capacity, effectively reducing it by 80%. This development has caused Europe to enter a state of panic as they scramble to find alternative solutions to keep their citizens warm in the upcoming winter, which is only 100 days away. Germany, being the most reliant, will face significant challenges and must address the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict to mitigate the situation. Additionally, Canada, a country from which the United States imports a substantial amount of food, is implementing policies similar to the Netherlands, urging farmers to reduce livestock and minimize fertilizer usage. This legislation is expected to gradually disrupt food supplies and financially burden farmers. Consequently, Canadian farmers, like their Dutch counterparts, are protesting and planning to use their farming equipment to block cities until they can secure a meeting with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to express their concerns and understand the reasoning behind these actions. While these events may seem alarming, it raises questions about governments worldwide and their treatment of their own people. It appears that some governments view their citizens as adversaries or even parasites by restricting their access to money and food. This observation, though it may sound conspiratorial, is evident in major news organizations and raises concerns about the state of affairs. Moreover, members of Congress are sounding the alarm, cautioning their colleagues about China's strategic infiltration of the United States. They assert that the American government has either been unaware of these maneuvers or silently complicit in a subtle takeover. Unfortunately, while Democrats and Republicans have been engaged in internal conflicts, the welfare of the American people has taken a back seat. It's important to stay informed about these developments and critically analyze the information presented in the news. The Chinese Communist Party has quietly acquired 192,000 acres of fertile farmland in the United States. Furthermore, they have been discreetly purchasing commercial and residential real estate across the country. China has also made lucrative offers to businesses and food companies, enticing American owners with deals that are too good to refuse. Some politicians have expressed concern over China's land acquisitions near U.S. military bases, particularly when it is done under the guise of owning farmland. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has voiced his worries about China's extensive land purchases in Florida and the United States, emphasizing the need for thorough due diligence by the U.S. government before allowing such transactions. In addition, the FBI has recently released a report stating that Huawei, a Chinese mobile communication and equipment company, may have hidden technology that enables China to spy on U.S. citizens in government buildings. Numerous Huawei cell phone towers are spread across the country, including near military bases. Furthermore, the FBI is warning that some of the farmlands purchased by China are in close proximity to secret U.S. military nuclear launch pads, potentially housing embedded technology capable of disrupting the U.S. military's ability to launch nuclear weapons. Consequently, the FBI has terminated a deal with China. China had also proposed constructing a $100 million Chinese garden in Washington, D.C., which raised concerns among the FBI. While it appeared to be a peaceful endeavor, there were suspicions that it could be a disguise for infiltrating secret military activities in Washington, D.C., and spying on the U.S. government. These significant news stories highlight the potential threats and infiltration attempts by China, and it is crucial to remain informed about these developments. In other news, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's plans to visit Taiwan, despite the advice of the U.S. military, have raised questions about the importance of Taiwan and the potential risks involved. Regarding the January 6th committee, they are planning to hold more publicly televised hearings in September. However, an independent Axios news report indicates that only 2% of people changed their opinion on the January 6th situation after watching the hearings, with no indication of whether they shifted towards viewing it as a waste of time or perceiving greater or lesser involvement of former President Trump. The committee did not provide specifics on the direction in which the 2% of people changed their minds after the hearings. However, regardless of the outcome, they plan to hold more hearings based on the data. That indicates a minimal change in public opinion. This situation raises a thought-provoking question. What if this committee had dedicated the same amount of time, money, and effort to address and tackle the issue of inflation? How would the country be different if the past year had been focused on improving the nation as a whole? But, of course, I am just an individual expressing my opinion on the internet.